Hello, my lovely sunshiners. Today I'm diving into a topic that's a little spicy yet incredibly important, and it's how to assert yourself and express those tough feelings without stepping on people's toes or you losing your cool. So grab a seat and let's explore together how to serve a FU with a side of class, maintaining your grace and nurturing your relationships even in challenging moments. Because quite often we do really want to just go to you and you can stick that where the sun doesn't shine, but afterwards you might feel a bit guilty because you've said something, or you might just wish you'd have just kept your mouth shut and not said anything at all. So here are 10 polished ways to serve you with a side of class. We all have our limits, and reaching out. No. We all have our limits, and reaching yours can be truly challenging. It's natural to feel pushed towards expressing frustration, perhaps even with a resounding. However, caring for yourself and nurturing your relationship means finding a graceful way to challenge those intense emotions. So, here we go. Number 1, the subtle check-in. Sounds like today has been tough for you. This response can seem a bit patronising, which might be just the tone you're aiming for. You're gently suggesting that the other person appears stressed and not at their best, while you're maintaining a composed. No. You're gently suggesting that the other person appears stressed and not at their best, while you maintain a composed and understanding demeanour. This allows you to express concern while subtly highlighting your own stability. Number 2, the gentle giggle. Sometimes laughter can be soothing. No, start that bit again. Sometimes laughter can be a soothing balm when tension rises. If someone unleashes a tirade, what that is. Wow. Tirade. Okay. Start this one again. So number 2, the gentle giggle. Sometimes laughter can be a soothing balm when tensions rise. If someone unleashes a tirade, is it tirade? Tirade. Right, start that one again. Number 2, the gentle giggle. Sometimes laughter can be a soothing balm when tensions rise. If someone unleashes a tirade, offering a sweet smile or a soft chuckle can disarm the moment, showing that you choose not to escalate the situation. You can mirror this approach in text by sending a simple LOL or a light-hearted meme. It's a way to keep the peace and demonstrate that you're maintaining your composure, refusing to let negativity dictate your emotional response. This approach not only keeps the atmosphere light, but also subtly conveys your resilience. Number 2 is quite a weird one, really, because sometimes I think if you laugh at somebody or you giggle at somebody when they're really mad, they tend to get even madder at you. But the gentle giggle, again, is another way of going to you. Number 3, employ sarcasm with grace. A touch of sarcasm when wrapped in wit can be an elegant way to say you without losing your cool. Humour, used wisely, can reflect both intelligence and poise, even in trying moments. Aim for a clever retort that gently puts them in their place and then gracefully exits the conversation. Here are a few playful jabs to inspire your responses. Some people deserve a high five in the face with a chair. Do you hear that silence? That's the sound of me not caring. Was that main event? No. Was that the main event, or should we brace for a sequel to your unconvincing story? I quite like that one, actually. Even though I'm not really into sarcasm, because I think it is the lowest form of wit, but I do quite like that one in some ways when somebody's just being an ass with you. Number 4, choose clarity and assertiveness. Embracing a straightforward and assertive manner can often be the most mature response. While it might lack the fleeting satisfaction of a sharp you, it truly showcases your growth and composure. If someone crosses a line, address it directly but calmly. You might explain what they did that was inappropriate, how their actions affected you, and the consequences of their behaviour. For instance, being stood up last night was not acceptable to me. It hurt my feelings and made me feel disrespected. I wish you well, but I've decided it's best for me not to continue our relationship. Hold people accountable for their actions by being assertive and transparent. Not only highlights your strengths, but also affirm. I'll start that bit again. In fact, start on number 4 again. Number 4, choose clarity and assertiveness. Embracing a straightforward and assertive manner can often be the most mature response. While it might lack the fleeting satisfaction of a sharp you, it truly showcases your growth and composure. If someone crosses a line, address it directly but calmly. You might explain what they did was inappropriate, how their actions affected you, and the consequences of their behaviour. Holding people accountable for their actions by being assertive and no, start this again. Holding people accountable for their actions by being assertive and transparent not only highlights your strengths, but also affirms your commitment to healthy boundaries. Sometimes when you're at work and your boss has got on your nerves, for example, or even a colleague that just drives you mad, and you quite often will stand and you'll be like this behind the back or whatever it may be. And, having this type of response, I think will take them just that step back and shock them as to why you've reacted in that way instead of going off the handle. Number 5, take your time to respond. Instead of reacting immediately, allow yourself a moment to breathe and then a moment to wonder. This approach serves multiple purposes. Firstly, it leaves them in suspense, unsure if you're going to respond or if you're going to choose to ignore them. And this pause not only lets them stew a bit, but also gives you space to collect your thoughts and decide on the best course of action. After some time has passed and you've had a chance to reflect, you might re-engage with something like, apologies for the delay in the response. It took me a while to find the right level of interest to craft a reply. This method not only maintains your dignity, but also communicates your feelings clearly without haste and showing that you're prioritizing thoughtful communication. I'll start this bit again. This method not only maintains your dignity, but also communicates your feelings clearly without haste, showing that you prioritize thoughtful communication over quick reactions. I quite like this one too, because sometimes, and again, we say things in the heat of the moment, and then once we've had a time to calm down and reflect on what we've said, you often regret what it is that you said, and then you find yourself apologizing for it, or making empty apologies, and that's really not the way you want to be going about it. Number 6 is embrace the high road. Choosing the moral high ground is a refined approach that not only keeps you no, start that one again. Number 6, embrace the high road. Choosing the moral high ground is a refined approach and not only keeps your integrity intact, but can also deeply frustrate someone who is behaving poorly. Utilizing calm and composed phrases subtly conveys your stance without stooping to negativity. So you could say something like, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry you feel that way. I wish you all the best. Good luck in the future. Them sort of things you could say instead of screaming, shouting, and going, you. Um, these responses demonstrate your refusal to be pulled into the conflict, affirming that your principles guide you. No, start that bit again. These responses demonstrate your refusal to be pulled into conflict, affirming that your principles guide your interactions no matter the behavior of others.
Brevity.
Brevity. Okay. Number 7 is opt for brevity and grace. Sometimes less truly is more. No. Start number 7 again. Number 7 is opt for brevity and grace. Sometimes less truly is more, especially when dealing with confrontations. Brief responses can be served as powerful drop the mic moments. By keeping your comebacks concise, you avoid giving the other person the satisfaction of seeing you ruffled. If faced with a lengthy rant, a simple okay can be disarming. No. Start that bit again. If faced with a lengthy rant, a simple okay can be disarmingly effective. This technique ensures you don't get entangled in needless drama. There's, sometimes when you're having a row, especially with your other half, it's just tit for tat. You've got to have the last word. Our dog, incidentally, is a bit like this, where I'll tell her off for barking and barking and barking because she barks at the birds and the flies and whatever it might be. But she always has to have the last word. She always has to have the last bark. So sometimes I just ignore her and then she'll go and skulk off to her bed somewhere. But consider also using
Succinct.
You could also consider using succinct, polite phrases that subtly convey your stance. So you could use things like, well, that was embarrassing, or no thanks, or I'd love to, but I'm busy washing my hair. These short replies help you maintain your composure and demonstrate that you won't be easily drawn into negativity. Number 8 is the concerned facade. It's time to shine your halo, as this approach is subtle and superior. No, start that bit again. Number 8 is the concerned facade. It's time to shine your halo, as this approach is subtly superior. By displaying a veneer of concern, you effectively shift the onus onto the other person. This method implies that while you are content and unbothered, they might have personal issues to resolve. You could use phrases like, I really hope you find the means to work through your issues and discover happiness. It sounds like you have something to work through, wishing you the best with that. Perhaps seeking some professional help to address your challenges might be beneficial. Number 9 is the professional approach. With all due respect, is the ideal choice for maintaining professionalism. No, 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 no. Start that bit again. The professional approach, with all due respect, is the ideal choice for maintaining professionalism in difficult conversations. This phrase sets the tone for a composed response, signalling that you're about to firm but respectfully clarify your position or correct a misconception. Start this from here. This phrase sets the tone for a composed response, signalling that you're about to firm but respectfully clarify your position or correct a misconception. It allows you to ascertain your perspective without losing your cool, essentially conveying that you need the other person. I'll start that again. It allows you to ascertain your perspective without losing your cool, essentially conveying that you need the other person to reconsider their stance or behaviour. So, this one's obviously better than you standing there and going, up yours, missus, because, it just puts you on a professional footing. While with all due respect can often introduce a critique, it does so in a way that keeps the dialogue civil and focused on. Start that bit again. While with all due respect often introduces a critique, it does so in a way that keeps the dialogue civil and focused on the issue at hand, avoiding any escalation into unprofessional territory. And the last one is trust in karma. As the old wisdom goes, you reap what you sow. Instead of stewing over grievances, trust karma to handle matters naturally. Our actions and attitudes in life profoundly influence our happiness and fate. So if someone is actively engaging in negativity, it's often best to let them continue on their path undisturbed. They are likely setting themselves up for their own challenges. In some cases, opting for silence or even ghosting can be more powerful than any words might say. It communicates. Start that bit again. It communicates clearly that you have more worthwhile things to focus on and leaves them to reflect on their own behaviour. So navigating the stormy waters of confrontation with elegance and grace shows not only self-respect, but also a deep consideration for the feelings of others. In mastering the art of delivering you with a side of class, you're not only suppressing your true emotions, but gently redirecting them to preserve harmony and respect in your relationships. By adopting these polished techniques, you ensure that you uphold your boundaries while also caring for the emotional fabric of your connections. Always remember the ultimate aim is to express your feelings and needs in a way that keep the bridges intact and hearts understood. So when you find yourself pushed to the edge, choose to respond with kindness and strength. This way your message will not only be powerful, but also nurturing and respectful. And then if you really want to, and the back's turned, you can go, "Fuck you." Yeah, if that really does make you feel better. But try them and see how you get on, and let me know if you managed to use one of those 10 ways to subtly say F you. And I shall speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.